Whatever happened to the food traditions that once defined American life? The salad bars stacked high with choices, the instant coffee that fueled mornings, the ice cream socials that brought whole towns together. Gone or nearly forgotten. Seniors still smile when they talk about these moments because they weren't just meals, they were memories. Stick with me because we're about to dig into 10 famous food traditions that have faded into history. And hey, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment with your own favorite food memory so we can keep these stories alive together. Number 1. Salad bars in restaurants. Remember walking into a restaurant and seeing that long line of chilled trays piled high with lettuce, cherry tomatoes, shredded cheese, and every dressing you could dream of? Salad bars were once the crown jewel of casual dining. A place where you could build your own plate, mix it up, and feel like you were in control of your meal. Seniors still talk about how it felt like a treat, grabbing a plate and stacking it tall, maybe sneaking a few bacon bits or croutons like it was a guilty pleasure. The excitement wasn't just the food, it was the freedom, the fun of making choices, and the pride of walking back to the table with your creation. And here's the hook. Why did they fade away? Was it health scares, changing tastes, or just the rise of fast casual joints that didn't have time for all that? Think about it. Those salad bars weren't just food. They were memories of family dinners, first dates, and Sunday outings. They were a ritual, a little slice of abundance that made folks feel special. Number 2. Instant coffee. You ever wake up to the sound of a kettle whistling and a jar of instant coffee sitting on the counter ready to save the day? Instant coffee wasn't just a drink, it was a lifeline. Seniors remember scooping those little crystals into a mug, stirring it up, and feeling like they had a quick fix for the grind ahead. It was cheap, it was fast, and it kept America moving through long shifts, late nights, and early mornings. The hook here is simple. Why did it fade? Was it the rise of fancy coffee shops, the obsession with espresso machines, or just the taste buds changing over time? Think about it. Instant coffee was more than caffeine. It was a symbol of hustle, of making do, of keeping pace when life didn't slow down. Some folks still swear by it, saying it's got a flavor that takes them straight back to their youth. That little jar wasn't just coffee, it was memory in a cup, a quick sip of resilience that fueled generations. Number 3. Ice cream socials. You ever hear folks talk about summer nights when the whole neighborhood gathered round for an ice cream social? Back then, it wasn't just about the scoops. It was about community, laughter, and the sweet taste of togetherness. Seniors remember the clang of metal scoops hitting hard ice cream tubs, kids running around with sticky hands, and grown folks swapping stories under string lights. The hook here is simple. Why did these socials fade away? Was it the rise of fast food chains, the shift to private living, or just the pace of modern life pulling people apart? Think about it. Ice cream socials were more than dessert. They were a ritual of joy, a chance to slow down and savor life. Some towns still try to bring them back, but the golden days were when everyone showed up no matter what. That scoop of vanilla or chocolate wasn't just a treat. It was a memory, a bond, a reminder that food could unite a whole community. Number 4. Baking contests. You ever hear stories about small town fairs where ovens fired up and pride was on the line? Baking contests weren't just about cakes and pies. They were about bragging rights, tradition, and the sweet smell of community spirit. Seniors remember the thrill of watching rows of homemade goodies lined up on long tables, each one wrapped in foil or set on a plate with a handwritten tag. The hook here's clear. Why did these contests fade? Was it the rise of store-bought shortcuts, the decline of county fairs, or just folks having less time to bake from scratch? Think about it. Those contests weren't just competitions. They were celebrations of skill, patience, and love. Winning a blue ribbon meant more than a prize. It meant your recipe carried legacy. Imagine the excitement of kids sneaking taste, neighbors cheering, and families passing down recipes like heirlooms. Baking contests were proof that food could be art, pride, and memory all rolled into one. Number 5, Automat Restaurants. Can you imagine walking into a shiny hall where the walls themselves served you lunch? Automat restaurants were once the future. Rows of little glass doors hiding sandwiches, pies, and steaming cups of coffee, all waiting for a nickel and a twist of the wrist. Seniors still talk about the thrill of dropping coins, hearing that clink, and watching a door swing open like a treasure chest, revealing your meal. The big question is, why did they disappear? Was it the rise of fast food chains, the decline of downtown diners, or just the march of technology leaving them behind? Think about it. Automats weren't just restaurants, they were experiences, places where city workers, families, and dreamers all shared the same wall of food, the smell of fresh coffee, the hum of conversation, the joy of choice. It was all part of the ritual. Ask anyone who lived through it, and they'll tell you, automats were more than convenience. They were a symbol of modern wonder, a memory of a time when even lunch felt futuristic. Number 6, fondue parties. Can you picture the buzz of the 70s when folks gathered around a bubbling pot, skewers in hand, dipping bread, veggies, or even fruit into gooey melted cheese or silky chocolate? Fondue parties weren't just about food, and they were about style, laughter, and togetherness. Seniors still recall the thrill of setting up that shiny fondue pot, watching the cheese stretch long and feeling like they were part of something modern and chic. The big question is, what changed? Did the hassle of keeping the pot hot wear folks down, or did microwave meals and quick dining steal the spotlight? Think about it. Fondue was slow dining, a ritual of patience and joy, where every dip felt like a celebration. And here's the twist. Those parties weren't just meals. They were memories of friends clinking skewers, families indulging, and communities savoring the moment. Fondue wasn't just trendy. It was unforgettable, a flavor of togetherness that melted away with time. Number 7, drive-in theaters with snack bars. Picture the glow of headlights lined up under the stars, families piling into cars with blankets, and the smell of popcorn drifting through the night air. Drive-in theaters with snack bars weren't just about movies. They were about freedom, fun, and a taste of Americana. Seniors still recall grabbing burgers, fries, and milkshakes from the snack stand, then hustling back before the cartoon previews ended. The real wonder is how something so magical slipped away. Was it the rise of indoor multiplexes, the cost of land, or simply the shift in how folks spent their evenings? Think about it. Drive-ins were more than entertainment. They were memories of first dates, pajama-clad kids watching double features, and families savoring a night out without leaving the car. And here's the spark. Those snack bars weren't just concessions. They were part of the ritual, the flavor of community and joy that made the night unforgettable. Ask anyone who lived it, and they'll tell you, drive-ins were a slice of life that rolled away with time. Number 8. Clam Bakes. Picture the shoreline filled with laughter, the salty breeze mixing with the aroma of seafood steaming beneath layers of seaweed and hot stones. Clam bakes were more than a meal. They were a ritual of community, a celebration of abundance pulled straight from the ocean. Seniors still recall the excitement of gathering on the beach, watching the pit being uncovered, and seeing clams, corn, and potatoes rise up in a cloud of savory steam. What shifted over time to make these gatherings rare? Was it stricter regulations, the cost of organizing, or simply the pace of modern life pulling folks away from slow traditions? Think about it. Clam bakes weren't just food. They were memories of neighbors sharing stories, families savoring the taste of the sea, and communities bonding over a feast that felt timeless. That seaside pit wasn't just cooking. It was legacy, a flavor of togetherness that faded as traditions changed. Number 9. Jell-O Moulds. Imagine the shimmer of bright colors wobbling on Grandma's table, each mold shaped like a crown, a flower, or some wild design that made kids' eyes light up. Jell-O molds were once the centerpiece of family gatherings, church socials, and holiday dinners. A playful mix of creativity and sweetness. Seniors still laugh about the way those molds jiggled when served, sometimes packed with fruit, marshmallows, or even vegetables that made you wonder what folks were thinking. Over time, though, tastes shifted, and the art of crafting these gelatin sculptures slipped away. Was it the rise of convenience desserts, or just changing ideas of what counted as fancy? Think about it. Jell-O molds weren't just food. They were conversation starters, a symbol of pride in presentation, and a memory of kitchens where imagination met tradition. That wobble wasn't just dessert. It was joy, nostalgia, and a reminder that even simple ingredients could shine when shaped with care. Number 10. Casserole Dinners. Picture a kitchen filled with the smell of something hearty baking slow, a dish layered with noodles, meat, veggies, or creamy sauces all tucked under a golden crust. Casserole dinners were once the backbone of American family life. Simple, filling, and made to stretch across a table of hungry mouths. Seniors still recall the pride of pulling a bubbling dish from the oven, setting it down at church potlucks, neighborhood gatherings, or weeknight suppers where everyone dug in together. Over time, though, the tradition slipped away. Was it the rise of takeout, the push for quicker meals, or just changing tastes that made casseroles feel old-fashioned? Think about it. Casseroles weren't just food, they were comfort, a symbol of care, and a way to feed many with love and resourcefulness. That one dish carried stories of mothers, grandmothers, and neighbors who knew how to turn simple ingredients into something unforgettable. And there you have it, 10 food traditions that once defined American life, now fading into memory. From salad bars to casseroles, each one carried laughter, pride, and togetherness that seniors still cherish today. These weren't just meals, they were stories, flavors of community that deserve to be remembered. If you felt that nostalgia, don't let it stop here. Hit that like button, share this with friends, subscribe for more journeys into forgotten food history, and drop a comment with your own favorite tradition. Let's keep these memories alive, one story at a time.